Hey guys, great to see you and welcome to another video. Joe here, and it's great to see you. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. Okay, so this is going to be a follow-on lesson from the Joe Bonamassa that I've been taking a look at. The track is called Drive, and I guess most of you have already checked out that first video. For those of you who haven't, I'll pop a link down below so you can check that out, in which we look at the kind of riffs and the rhythm and what's happening there. And so I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of an idea as to some of the things that you might experiment with if you're looking to kind of develop your solo playing. Yeah. Now, as you may or may not already know, I have done some backing tracks for this video, and they're over at Patreon and they're free for everybody to watch. And the whole idea is that there's something there for you to be able to practice your melody with, your soloing with. Yeah, because that is the way ultimately we get good at playing lead guitar. Okay, it's one thing just copying licks and learning thousands of licks or whatever it is, but it's another when you actually sit down and figure some things out for yourself, because that really helps develop the ears and the kind of correlation between the guitar and what you're playing and your auditory side of things. And this is ultimately what we are trying to do. You know, I probably get more questions about how do I become a great lead guitar player than anything else. And there is no quick answer to this. It is something that requires practice, but it is something that you can make good headway with if you practice in the right way. Okay, and so you must leave some time to develop your own ideas, because when you hit something right, your ears hear that, and all of a sudden there's this interaction. It's a whole. It's not just copying stuff, you know, like looking at a lick and kind of copying it, although that's beneficial in its own right, because you're still hearing these things and thinking, yeah, that sounds right. But when you come up with your own things, it sticks on a much more fundamental level. Okay, it seems to stick in a very much deeper way than what it does if you're just learning things note for note and stuff like that. So really, you know, I guess most of you will have figured out that the song is just in E minor. So what does that tell us? What can we do, you know, in a solo sense if the song is in E minor? Well, we can play an E minor pentatonic, or we can play a blues scale over that. And I'm sure you're familiar with what those are. For those of you who aren't, you know, right up here on the 12th position, we go 12 to 15. Then we go 12, 14. Or you can actually play 12, 13, 14 there if you want. Then we go 12, 14. Then we go 12, 14, 15. Then we go 12, 15. 12, 15. So Bonamassa starts out right up there with his first lick. You know, he's kind of playing in that position. So you can kind of play anything along here. You know, just experiment. And what he seems to do is he comes to a different position for each part of the solo. So like I say, he starts out in this position here. That's the first position. Now, if you go backwards, obviously you're going to hit the 5th position, which is this position. Okay, so that's just 10, 12, 10, 12, 9, 12, 9, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12. You know, so this is what I'm saying. He plays his first part of the solo high. Next little bit, he's coming down to a different position. So you can just fiddle around in that position. Yeah, then he comes down to another position. There, yeah. To a different position again. So they're all just different positions of the blues scale. And again, he comes further down. Just all E minor pentatonic and blues, yeah. So if you're not familiar with that, you've just got open third, open first, second, yeah. So they're just those third and fourth strings are just open and second. Open and second, and third if you want for that third string. And then we've just got open third, open third. So you know all this, it's all around that first position. Yeah, and then second position. Very Robert Cray, that sound. This kind of idea of hammering on that third string is quite a nice idea. So you're on the second fret of the third string and you're playing that kind of hammer on. And if you can kind of put a little quick lick at the end of it, so you got your kind of, you know, just fiddle about, and it's kind of repetition in a sense, because it's very difficult to hear things first time round. So we're lost in our doodling and trying to figure out, you know, what works, what doesn't work. But it's absolutely perfect practice doing that type of thing. It doesn't really matter if you hit loads of duff notes, you know. If you probably hit one or two peaches within it as well, and you think, right, okay, I was here and I hit that note and it sounded great. So I hope I haven't rambled on too much there, and some of that was of some use to you all. If you actually want to see what I played for the Joe Bonamassa thing, you can go see that over at Patreon, that's there. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, drop them down below. I'll always do my best to answer them, and it's great to see you again, and I look forward to seeing you soon. All the best.